Hello everybody, this is Julia here, and I'm not doing a Sunday dinners today. I decided I'm gonna start a little food blog on here, talk about a few food topics. This week, I was going to do something about chicken, because I'm about to cut up a chicken. I can get it for 79 cents a pound at my local Wegmans. A nice big roaster, a 6-pounder, which means I'm probably going to get about 4 pounds worth of meat off of it, and some of the giblets inside. But, as I was doing that, I discovered Julia Child's video on chicken. Now, I'd seen it before, and it showed me just how much I respect her, and she is my absolute cooking idol. And she made cooking accessible to everybody. And through her videos, it wasn't like it was, oh, well, here's a gourmet recipe and this and that. Her recipes were easy. Her recipes, even if they weren't easy, they made them look easy. And it was completely different than what people were used to. People were used to gourmet cooking in a gourmet restaurant and weren't used to gourmet cooking at home. And this made that kind of cooking accessible to people. Now, I don't have a copy of Julia Child's original French Chef, and I wish I did. I saw the movie Julie, Julia, and that was an absolutely great movie. Meryl Streep should definitely get an Oscar nomination for it. But, you know, it got me thinking that she really did inspire me a lot. And, you know, all of her techniques, all of her, all of her, all of her teaching really still stands the test of time. All of her recipes stand the test of time, and they're all classic recipes. And I really do respect that about her. And it's something that, you know, that not many people have. There aren't that many people who you can say their influence is still felt after they pass. You know, Walter Cronkite's another. Uh, Johnny Carson is another. You know, people on TV, or, you know, Ronald Reagan is one. As much as I'm not a Republican, still, his influence in the modern age, where, you know, where people, you know, we're in a throwaway culture nowadays, and people don't have the staying power that they used to. Let me adjust this for a second. Much better. But people don't have the staying power that they used to, and people get their 15 minutes of fame, and they're gone. And nowadays, the people who have staying power are much fewer and far between. And you're not going to get a news person like a Walter Cronkite anymore. The closest you come to a food star is Emeril Lagasse, and he's faded out considerably. I mean, his show Emeril Live didn't really last, but there are other people who are famous chefs and such, but they don't have the outreach and the ability to talk to people, not as though they're they're stupid, or as if they don't know what they're doing. The thing that Julia Child had over all of those people was that she was not a trained chef at first. she decided she was a housewife who was bored in Paris and decided to go to the Cordon Bleu cooking school. And that approach, that very hands-on approach to everything, and that very different perspective on everything really made her shows stand out, and they still stand out. I remember watching Food Network used to play reruns of the old Galloping Gourmet. Now, he was a completely different type of chef. Um, his name was Graham Kerr, and at that time, when he did his show, he was a drunk, basically. When he was on the show, he was off show. He had an audience. It was like in the 70s, I think. Um, I'm not sure if it was 60s or 70s. All I remember it was close to like the 70s. And drinking on TV, people did it all the time. People would come on to, Carson. I mean, Ed McMahon usually had, some kind of alcohol in his hand when he was on the Tonight Show. So it was commonplace. But he was not somebody who really showed technique and everything as much. From and his shows don't stand the test of time. But but somebody, I mean, 20 years from now, people aren't going to know who Julia Child is as much, but people are still going to, most likely on a YouTube or something, be searching, I want to cut up a chicken. How the heck do I do that? They'll put in chicken cutting up, and lo and behold, Julia Child will show up, and they'll find it and go, oh, this lady's kind of cool. And she showed me exactly what to do. Cool. I mean, her shows have really stood the test of time, and it's something that nobody does anymore. And the fact that we still use her techniques and such is great. And I really do respect her for everything she represents to me. And the Food Network and all of these food blogs and cooking videos out here on YouTube would not be there if not for Julia Child. Now there are people. Now Food Network would not exist without Julia Child, but I think without Emerald, Food Network wouldn't exist. But without Julia Child, none of the shows on PBS would have existed, and none of those shows, and without those shows, Food Network would not have existed. So we would have had a completely different approach to cooking if not for her. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I have a Julia Sunday Dinners coming in about a week and a half, which is going to be a Hanukkah themed episode. So tune in, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'll probably be back in the interim with with another blog of some sort. But I am starting to amass a good little playlist of some chicken videos because I am into cutting up chickens and saving some money on it. And it really does save money. You get great quality chicken out of it. So I'm starting to amass a list of them. So take a look, see what you can find. And I'm also going to just put a couple of search queries, search terms that you can use to find anything, because there are loads of videos showing how to cut up a chicken. Even there was one guy who can cut up a chicken in a minute. I mean, that's great. He has great knife skills. If I tried that, my hands would be all bloody. So, anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and bon appetit!